Anyway, let's go and trade this thing in.
Navigation resumed.
We've got a new rig to play with. A new rig to play with? Got a new truck to play with. My brain's not working. Let's go and pick up a new truck and then we can do some deliveries. Yeah, I drove this Lone Star and, like, it's okay. It's not my favourite truck though. It's an okay truck. I don't mind it, but I'm not a fan of it. So we're going to get rid of it. And instead we're going to go with a K100. Jack Garrett, thank you very much for gifting 5 subs, Jack Garrett. Appreciate the support, sir. Thank you. And if you get gifted one, please give him a thank you. Oh, I need to get some caffeine in me. Right. Let's pick up a classic. I do like the K100. But this one's got some interesting options. Mr. Fatty, my lord, great fun to hear that you're going to get started with the remodeling. I do recommend that you try to figure out a way so that you can play FPS and fly drive with the rig. With my latest build, I only do FPS and flying. Driving is in the living room. Well, the FPS will be done at the desk, Fatty. So anything driving or flying, I want to be on the rig, and everything else will be at the desk. That's my solution to that. My problem is, how do I swap a wheel for a yoke or racing pedals for rudder pedals? How do I swap those in onto a fixed rig easily? That's my problem. Papa Reagan, thank you for almost 4 years. Good luck with the major renovation. Oh, I'm bound to hit snags. That's inevitable. Aquila Samurai with a bullseye 50 months. That's a lot of months. It is. Thank you. What do you mean put them both? What does that mean? You cannot do it. Yeah, you can. Why would you say you can't do it? You're literally swapping one thing for another. The worst case scenario is you have to undo 4 bolts and release it. What do you mean you can't do it, Havo? Yes, you can. I'll do it. Killmowski, can hardly believe it's been this long. And 30x Gamer, thank you for 46, sir. How can you sit there and say that you can't do something like that? How can swapping equipment out be impossible?
Happy anniversary.
Can you map? Yeah, you can map rudder pedals to, but I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that. Have a flywheel set up and rotate.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
You can add both without swapping. I don't know how. It's a mod, Carl. Is it in a converted garage you work in or a room at the side of the house? It's a converted garage. But both units on a swivel top that locks in. I don't think there'd be enough room for that kind of solution, and certainly not where the wheel goes. You do iRacing and P2D, so what's your solution? Get 2 next level DD bases. They're like 1,500 quid each. Well, Havo, I'm going to have a go. I'm in touch with SimLabs, and hopefully, well, between us, we can come up with a solution. Anyway, let's have a look. What have we got? So, effectively, we've got the single deck extended, and then, like, the double, like, upper decks with an extended version, I think, of it. So I think I might go for the standard Aerodyne.
Welcome back.
And see what we can do with it. +1 for the flywheel option. How are you with a welder? I ain't welding anything. I want a quick release plate. That would be my solution. Hey, Blue Army. But my kind of idea would be to have... How can I put this? So normally, where you put the wheelbase onto the plate on the rig. So you've got your rig with a plate on it, right? And you put the wheelbase on, and you bolt it in. What I would want is some kind of plate which has quick release brackets on it. I would screw that onto the rig, and then on the wheelbase and on the yoke base, I would effectively mount a plate on it which would have the quick release receptor, so you can just click and lock one in, swap it out, click and lock the other one in, swap it out. Don't know how to do that yet, but that's the vision. Because I just don't have enough room to have two rigs in this room. Just not going to happen. How tall is the ceiling? It's not very high, to be honest. It's probably like 2.2 meters, maybe. It's not very high. A set bolt with a handle would be ideal for something like that. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Put the pedals on rails so you can slide them left or right to do what you need. To have a left-right slider, I'd have to have the rig a lot further away from the wall so it can go in and out. That's one problem. It's possible, but I don't know if it would work for me. You can mount an axle in front of you and have the pedals and wheel rotate on his axle. I don't think there's enough vertical height for it to spin on an axis, if you see what I mean. Two wheel stands would fit side by side out of the way, then slide one in. Have you got an example of that? Think of a set screw, but with a small handle, 1/4 inch turn, and it's tight or loosened. So like a bolt with a handle bracket, and it's only a 1/4 turn to lock. I mean, something like that would certainly be feasible, because then it's just a simple matter of undoing 4 quick bolts to get it off, right? So something like that would potentially work. You like the quick release option, trying to think of the best way to execute the idea. That's what I'm trying to do as well. But yeah, I mean, instead of using... Because I think normally they have, you know, like M bolts that go in. So instead of having N bolts, if you could put an M bolt receptor in that then takes a quick release male adapter, like you say, like a 1/4 lock or something, or a 1/2 lock, that would be great. Because that way you don't have to mess about too much. You can just use different bolts effectively. Fatty, as long as you can have the space, you can do it. Time and money is the only issue. I've built a small CNC that I used to make the panels with backlight. Getting it to work has been a 2-week project. Finally finished 2 of 3 parts for the first panel. Blimey. What about a magnetic thing? Magnetic is not going to hold a racing... Something like a Fanatec wheelbase, it's not going to hold. They've got a lot of force. Right, chassis 6x4 A and B. So the B is extended wheelbase with an extra tank. Gives you a lot more range. Yeah, let's go extended wheelbase. I don't fancy 8x4.
Happy anniversary.
Vice grips. Well, yeah, I mean, vice grips do work, but again, they're not exactly quick release, are they? They're literally screwing things in, so you might as well just have the bolt. No, Jens, as I said, all driving would be on the rig. That's the plan. Wherever I can, Vodinator, I'll document stuff, yes. Raven, I have Googled quite a bit to try and find quick release bolts. I'm going with a carpet this time, Alban.
Happy anniversary.
At the moment, I've got a wooden floor with like a rug on it. I'm going to go entirely carpeted to try and deaden the sound as well. Yeah, I mean, you can get stuff like I've used a company to fabricate metal panels before, Andrew. The problem is you've got to give them, you know, CAD diagram. You've got to give them like a CAD design and say, right, cut that. And therein lies the problem. I don't really have any CAD software. Yeah. Right, so I've got a sound mod for this thing, but it's only applicable to certain engines, I think. Team that does, thank you, sir. Never have enough PCL displays.
I
remember I used to have 6 at one point. That was too much. So you can have too much. Do you know how to do technical drawing? Dude, years ago. Years ago. But I mean, to get a CAD package, I'd have to learn how to use it. You know, that's like a day gone just trying to figure that out, probably. Plastic Astronaut, thank you for 8 months. You got me wanting to go sketch something out. It's got to be an easier answer to this. I don't think there is. The fact that nobody's done it yet implies it's not an easy problem, or there's not yet the demand for it, maybe. But I think there is some demand for this. I think there are people who've got a rig who want to do more than just race with it. Sam Blackshaw, what a way to start the new year. One of my uncles sadly passed away. Sorry to hear that, Sam Blackshaw. The Bubinator, thank you for 5 months. So let's see, the engine list, the Cummins V903 or the Caterpillar 3408. Cat, Cummins, or I don't want to do Detroit diesel. You have 4 and you're thinking of drop into an ultra wide and 1 sport monitor. That's effectively what I'll have on the race rig. Cummins all the way. So Cummins, the V903 Air Start, it says. That's a 444. There's a V903. When it says Air Start, does it mean the quiet one then? The V903 T500, that's that one. 1634 pound-foot of torque. That's not that one. That's that one. That's a 550. Ah. Alright, we'll take that engine. Use a side stick config for the flight. I know I can do that, Addicted. I realised that I can use the rig side bracket to put my Warthog stick on. And I can have my Warthog throttle on the other side. I know I can do that. But I actually want to use my honeycomb yoke in the middle. I'd much rather have the honeycomb yoke in the middle than have the... I may still mount the Warthog for when I'm doing DCS, but I might have that as something that's quick released, so I don't have it permanently mounted. This is the thing, is like I need to get this thing in and then figure that out, you know? See how much space I've got, see where I want to put things, because there's some things I want to have permanently mounted and some things I may just mount when I play that particular game. With GT Omega, they have plates that are secured by 2 bolts and 1 to adjust the angle. You can buy an extra plate and put the flight sim equipment on that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Paul, it's the TA engine you need and not the T engine. That's what is showing in the workshop page. From, I'm looking at the details and it says Cummins V903 Air Start. Is that what the TA is then? Why is that not showing then? Cummins VTA 903, is it that one? It says VTA-903-T500, 1634 pound-foot of torque. He was looking at the cat, alright. Yeah, look, Cummins VTA-903-T550. But he's got the numbers wrong. He's put 1950 pound-foot of torque, and that's wrong. There's lots of quick release bolts here. You have customs one, mate. Let me see if I can lift that. It would greatly help me, guys, if you post links, if you could shorten them, because trying to copy paste a big link. Okay, I've got that page. Thank you. Jimerick, I shall have a look. But yeah, if you're going to post a link, guys, please shorten it. It takes up a lot less space in chat for a kickoff, and it's just easy for me. Right, we'll go with that engine. Let's see. Happy to go Eaton 13 speed, maybe. Let's go Eaton 13, makes sense. You've designed houses 14 years, deal with CAD software every day. I don't have a lot of experience with metal fab shop drawings, but happy to give it a try if that would help. 2 meter mat. The problem is knowing how to contact you. That's the first issue. The second thing is I would need to work out what it is I want. But effectively, yeah, you have to give them a file in a certain format. I can't remember what the file format is. But effectively, it's just a 3D drawing. It says how thick it is. It just literally has a diagrammatic representation of the thing that you want made, and then they just they waterjet cut aluminium panels out of that. That's what they do.
Happy anniversary.
The gearbox doesn't have a retarder. I wonder if there's an equivalent one which does. Nah. We'll have to forego the retarder, I think. The 15-speed boxes come with the engine mod by the looks of it. Do you think then we have to use the 15-speed ROM? I don't know, Spitfire, what is it? Looks like they make stuff for chairs by the look of it. I'd have to have a look around the site. If you have a detailed hand drawing, most companies can make it work with the software. Well, there's a laser cutting place down in Basildon, which is like 25 minutes away from me. And they're the people that had it make my panels last time for the button boxes that stick out the side of my Fanatec. Yeah, I don't really want a 15-speed box overall. We'll just go with that. Okay, let's do something... oh, wine looks pretty good, actually. What's that one? Wine with a bit of beige. Black with beige. It's a nice interior, this. Blue, that looks absolutely horrendous. Chair mounted or table mounted. Table mounts have a quick release system. Yeah, I've got that page, Spitfire. I'll have a bounce around and see what I can see. Oh, I hate that. Don't do 10. That's a very minty green. Imagine trying to keep that clean as a truck driver. Can you just imagine trying to keep that clean? Like getting outside your truck, handling goods, like dealing with axle grease, and then getting in a lovely white interior truck. Good luck with that. Quite that. Red. So that one, or what was my other one I liked? Is it that one? No. That one. Wine or wine VIT. The little stitches. The bot is blocking the slang word for gearbox. I think it's blocking caps. Wine sous vide is nice. Well, that one with the creamy bits. It is nice. I'm just not a fan of tan stroke creamed interiors, so I'm going to go for that one. Right, let's have a look at the outside. I think this thing's got quite a few paint schemes, actually. So we'll start off with a simple... That is horrendous. Dear me. That's horrendous. That's quite nice. Stripes too. That's very retro. I like that. Not my style, but I like the style of it. It's just not my thing. Stripes 22 V2. I like how all the colours are configurable as well, so you get to take the pattern and then just play with it. But they've got some pretty nice pre-setup ones. They've got a very kind of retro feel, don't they? Don't like that much. Oh, that's quite nice. I like that. What I don't get about that though is look at the graphic for it. It shows white, black, and yellow, and you on the preview. When you click on it, it's white, dark blue, and light blue. It's almost like they changed it and forgot to change the preview. Having said that, they're all wrong. Look at this one. That's like a grey purple. Looks nothing like that. That is actually horrendous. That's pretty much the most vile combination of colours you can come up with. Dear me. Take it, lol. Look at the preview for it. It's completely nothing like this. Arcade Forest, have a great new year. Look into Grand Utopia. Really want to see you play that map. I think it will blow you away. Grand Utopia. Is that for American Truck Sim? What is that? Looks like a Christmas present. That's very bland, isn't it? That's like corporate box or something. Free TS2, fair enough. It's bright. I don't like that at all. That's so nasty. I don't like that. That's got an interesting pattern. With different colours that could work. That's very brown. I like the pattern though. You could do something cool with that. You certainly spot your truck in a car park with this one. Blimey. Oh. That's like... It's garish to the point that I want to have it. That's quite nice. That's a pretty decent paint scheme. Not sure about that. That's pretty nice. Ooh, that's quite nice, that one. Blimey. I'll tell you what, there's some very nice ones and there's some absolutely horrendous paint skins. That's highly unusual, that one. That's like, it's almost too modern for this truck. Is it 44 or quite light? Different colours. Depends if I want to play with colours. I'll just go with a prefab. Thomas, I've just realised something, and that is that this will be the very first full decade that Paul will be streaming, so here's to another 10 years. Hey, who said I'm going to finish the whole decade? It's very boring, isn't it? I think I'll go with that one. The red and the white are quite like that. I think what I'll do is I'll keep those colours so I can use them in the rest of the build. Grab those three, and of course there's a white. Yeah, there's actually lots of nice ones there. Don't do what, Valtiel? Lol. Smithers, how you doing? Jacob, nobody knows what the future holds, mate. Nobody. So we just take it as it is. Right, there we go. Get some bacon on there. Front markers. I prefer the little ones. What does that one do? A window cover. I presume that's on the inside. It's a strange vertical stack of dots here. Look at this. Custom visor. Original visor 2. I can prefer that one otherwise. The other one gets a bit claustrophobic. I'm not sure about them. Why are there only air horns on one side? I don't like the asymmetry of this. Why is there no option to put them over here as well? Is it on another dot maybe? Why you do this to me, game? Asymmetric. Not sure how I feel about that. These, hang on. Air vent trim is here. A window trim, which puts like a nice touch around the window frame, which I quite like. It seems to work with this livery anyway. And then you can optionally have it do it there as well. But unfortunately, it stops that one being white and makes it silver. So I'm going to leave it like that. Don't really feel like I need to highlight the air vent, you know? Mr. Raby, thank you for 9 months. Anthony Falinsky, thank you for 4. Put the one bacon on as well. Oh no, come on. We can't have like one bacon, one horn. That just looks bizarre. Front mirror. OF navigator, OF board computer. Hang on, let's go inside a second. Interesting. So we can have the nav on this side and the computer. That's interesting. It's like you took this old K100 and you slapped a couple of tablets in there. I like it. Let's go with that. Jimrick, have a good birthday. Right, what was it up to? That dot there. We've done that. Window trim, we've done that. Done that. What's that one? Oh, we've got basic mirrors. One small mirror. Oh, there it is. 2 small mirrors. I'll go with 2 small mirrors. See how that goes. That we've done. That's the usual equipment. Dot on the front. 1 bar, 3 bar, 5 bar, 7 bar. Blimey. Doesn't make a massive difference. Oh dear. My stomach's playing up again. Right, original bumper, custom chrome. Not sure about that. Aero bumper? Nope. It kind of looks like it's weird because the truck, like the front end of the truck is here, but then it sets back, but this doesn't really follow it. And it kind of makes it look weird. Like these, compared to the radiator, this sets back. So you kind of expect this to go back with it. And then this curved bit would then flow with the edge of that. So in other words, you'd expect the bumper to follow the contour of this, but it doesn't. So it kind of makes it look a bit odd. Thank you, Nutsy. Just need some rest, I think. If the bumper was set back, it wouldn't really be a bumper. I hear what you're saying, but then it's, you know, the bumper itself isn't in front of the radiator, so why does it need to be in front of the light, you know? I don't know. Maybe they should have made it just... Maybe they should have kept that line going and just made it curve back more. I don't know. It just feels a bit awkward. JNS, where I live, we had a big water leak yesterday. It took 3 hours until they found the leak and almost 8 more hours until the road partially could be opened. These 20 houses got water damage in the basement. Well, that's going to be a big compensation claim. Can I imagine the problem? What a great start to the year. Yeah, I listen, I know what that problem's like. I'll tell you what in a sec. Hang on. That's a lot of water. That is a huge water leak. Yeah, the reason I know what water damage is like is because I remember about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I think it was. My mum had a water pipe burst in the kitchen. I think it was age of the pipe stroke a cold winter. Anyway, the pipe burst. And the thing is she didn't know what to do, right? She was living on her own. She didn't know what to do. So she phoned up my brother, because my brother lives about 6 miles away. So he phoned up my brother saying, there's water gushing all over the kitchen. Like, what do I do? And of course, he's saying to her, well, go to the stopcock and turn it off. To which point she's saying, I don't know where the stopcock is.
Welcome back.
And he's like, well, look under the stairs, like look behind the kitchen cupboards, like you must know where your stopcock is. I don't know where it is. So she's panicking and there's water still gushing out. So my brother has to get in the car and drive down there, which takes 15 minutes. So that's 15 minutes where water is still gushing out. And we're talking mains pressure water. Like the pipe literally burst, not a leak, it burst. So you've got mains pressure water gushing in the kitchen. My brother finally gets there, and by then, it's already, you know, that deep across the ground floor of the house. Like it's already gone out the kitchen, it's gone into the hall, it's gone into the living room. Everything is now flooded. Mains pressure water is bursting out. My brother's like, where the heck is the stopcock? In the end, it took him 30 minutes to figure it out. What had happened is, when she had a kitchen put in about 5 years before that, the guy that put the kitchen units in had basically put them in front of the stopcock and not left any gap to get to it. And nothing, no opening, nothing. So my mum didn't know where it was. She had no clue where it was. He just boxed it in. So my brother somehow, like literally just started taking apart the kitchen units, ripped the back off, finally found the stopcock and turned it off. But by that point, the house was flooded, like literally flooded. So, you know, I've seen the damage that it causes. It took, like, the insurance claim paid out and they came around and they had to, you know, literally had to get professional equipment in to pump the water out of the house. Everything was ruined. Like the carpets were ruined, the skirting boards. Luckily, it hadn't quite hit the walls, but the walls had started to soak the water in. So the insurance company filled the ground floor of the house with dehumidifiers. And they had to leave it like that for weeks. Just dehumidifiers running constantly for weeks. to just dry the house out and stop it causing further damage. But yeah, what a mess. What an absolute mess. B-Dub, thank you for 26 months. So yeah, always know where your stopcock is. Because the day you need it, you want to find it quickly. I know exactly where mine is.
Happy anniversary, Nutter.
Yeah, I mean, the build, like the guy who did the kitchen was actually a very experienced guy. He'd done a lot of people's kitchens in the area. I don't know why he did that. I literally have no clue why he would do that. It's insane. But, you know, it was a problem waiting to happen. Where's mine? Downstairs toilet. It's in the downstairs toilet, behind and next to the toilet, behind a panel. It's just literally a magnetic panel. Pull off, turn. It's 90-degree lever. Boom. Done. In fact, we had a new one fitted when we had the kitchen done. We had a new lever fitted, so it was just like literally 90 degrees off. Because before that, it was like a screw, like a tap, and it was getting quite stiff to turn. So, you know, he said, look, I recommend you replace that. He said because he couldn't even shut it off properly. It was so old. I think it had been there like 20, 30 years, and it was so old that you couldn't actually 100% turn it off. So he replaced it with a lever. Owen Gamer, I'll try and make this short. Just want to thank you for the awesome streams and videos. They always make me laugh and boost my mood. I can't always make it to streams, but I watch a lot of your videos on SquirrelPlus where I can. Keep up the amazing work. Owen Gamer, thank you, mate. Well, thank you for the kind words and the support, sir. Thank you. It's nice to know I can boost your mood. That's quite rewarding for me. That's pretty cool. All right. Original ladder. I thought, you know what? I thought that said Asus ladder. European ladder, Australian ladder, original ladder, aero ladder. That's nuts. In fact, you can actually configure that. Flares. Oh, wow. That's a lot of dots, blimey. I'm not sure I've got time for that. Single, dual intake. Ooh. I like that. As if we Europeans aren't original. Lol. Yeah, the Asus ladder actually says Asus on it.
Happy anniversary.
Shield. Do you want the heat shield? Hang on, let me look at it without again. I will take it with the shield. 5-inch medium. Long flats. 7-inch. Look at that. 7-inch medium flat. Ooh. 7 inches. That's a massive pipe. Same thing happened to your mum and dad's house with the water heater. It was in the basement. The only way to drain the water was through the garage door. Oof. Yeah, water damage is some of the worst damage. Like, it really is. Water goes everywhere. Everywhere it can go, it will go. What's that dot? Short, medium, long. Go short. Cap black, cap shiny. Cap 2 black. Oh no, it doesn't like that. RAM. We'll go with cap 2 shiny. It's a pity the sound doesn't change when you change the exhaust. That would be cool if it did. Right, I've done that. We've got the wheels to do yet. Kenworth. What's our options? We'll take those. Actually, no, we'll take the red because I've got a red truck anyway, so that kind of works. To be honest, I'm quite happy with those rims. But we'll see what we've got. Steel, standard paint. I reckon white. White will look nice on this build. Maybe do some dark red wheel nuts on it or something. What's that? Standard paint. Let's do that. Will they release Ohio soon? Well, considering they just released a map in, was it December they released it, or November? I can't remember now. Was it Black Sea and then... Well, let me put it this way, Splucky. You're probably looking at 2 to 3 months before they drop the next one. The pattern seems to be every 3 or 4 months, doesn't it? T-Vale, 44 months enjoying the streams. Thank you, sir. I have a mission on this year as well, Paul, as I'm turning my back bedroom into a gaming room. Nice. Utah was November. Okay, so you're probably looking at what? December, January, February, maybe February earliest, March, I would estimate.